Meeting called to order. Michelle, would you please call a roll?
Avon.
Here.
Caledonia.
Here.
Canisius.
Here.
Geneseo.
Here.
Groveland.
Here.
Lester.
Here.
Lima.
Here.
Livonia.
Here.
Mount Morris.
Here.
North Dansville.
Here.
Nunde.
Here.
Ashen.
Here.
Portage.
Here.
Sparta.
Here.
Springwater. Here. West Sparta.
Here.
York.
Here. Again, today we do have a special guest to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ian, if you would, please.
Yeah, today the veteran for the month of November is Sean Whitford. Sean's a native of Lakeville, graduated from Livonia Central School in June of 2002. Following high school, Sean attended SUNY Buffalo, majoring in criminal justice. In May of 2003, Sean enlisted in the United States Marine Corps Reserve and completed basic training at Parris Island, South Carolina. Sean had infantry and weapons training at Camp Lejeune. In 2003, Sean attended heavy equipment operator training at Fort Leonard Wood and USMC Martial Arts Instructor School. From February to September 2005, Sean was deployed to Africa under Operation Enduring Freedom. In 2007, he was honorably discharged from the Marine Corps in the grade of Lance Corporal. For his military service, Sean was awarded the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Armed Forces Reserve Medal, Sea Service Deployment Medal, and National Defense Service Medal. Sean later attended the Rural Police Training Institute, earning certification as a police officer in March 2007. After graduation, Sean was employed part-time by the Nunde Police Department and the Steuben County Sheriff's Office. In September of 2008, Sean joined the Livingston County Sheriff's Office Road Patrol part-time and was made full-time in October of that year. Sean has served the road patrol as a canine handler with Canine Partner Utah until Utah's retirement earlier this year. Sean continues to serve on Operation Safe Interstate, where he has made a large contribution in drug interdiction efforts and drug trafficking patrol. Sean resides in Hemlock, New York. Sean, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Sean, for your service in the United States Marine Corps, the Board of Supervisors is proud to present you the Certificate of Appreciation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Before we get started with our agenda, I would like to introduce a group of Livonia High School students here today to take in our meeting. And I'd like to thank all the folks in attendance from the public department heads for being here on the budget public hearing day. So we will get started with approval of the minutes from October 20, 2016. Questions or comments? If not, need a motion to approve? Schuster, second. All those in favor? Aye. Same sign. We do have 3 public hearings today. The first public hearing is proposed modification of Livingston County Agricultural District Number 2. I would ask Angela Ellis to please come forward and talk about this public hearing.
Thank you for the privilege to speak before the board today. As you may be aware, effective September 17th of 2004, the New York State Agriculture and Markets Law was amended with Section 303B, which allows for parcels to be added into agricultural districts on an annual basis. The Livingston County Board of Supervisors designated the month of September as the 30-day annual period for submission of petitions by landowners to join an existing agricultural district. The county is comprised of 3 districts, which is about 49% or half of the county's land base being included in the district. This year, 1 petition for inclusion of predominantly viable agricultural land within a certified agricultural district was filed with the Livingston County Board of Supervisors. The parcel comprises a total of 126 acres and is located in the town of Avon. Pursuant to New York State Agriculture and Markets Law, the County Agricultural and Farmland Protection Board conducted its review of the parcel and determined that it was proposed for inclusion in Agricultural District 2 would consist of predominantly viable agricultural land, and that it would be in the best interest of the agricultural district to include the parcel into the program. This public hearing is to allow public comment on the consideration of this petition to modify the Agricultural District Number 2 to include the parcel, as well as the recommendation of the Agricultural and Farmland Protection Board.
Thank you. Our second public hearing is local law number C 2016, the local law amending local law number 1 of the year 1956 relative to the Livingston County Self-Insurance Plan for workers' compensation. I would ask that David Morris please talk about this.
Thank you. This local law makes several changes to our workers' comp self-insurance plan. Two most important of which are as follows. The new local law will allow town ambulance districts and town fire districts to elect to become members of the plan. Currently, only the county, towns, and villages within the county are eligible. The second major changes the way in which the plan costs are apportioned among the members. Currently, plan costs are apportioned based upon taxable assessed value of property located within each of the members' jurisdictions. The change under the new local law will, over the next 5 years, change that to be 50% based upon assessed valuation of property within each jurisdiction of the members, and 50% based upon the members' workers' comp claim experience.
Thank you. The third public hearing is public hearing on the proposed Livingston County budget for 2017, and I'd ask Ian Coyle to please present that.
Presentations got quite popular. No, I want to welcome the students from Livonia here, and the guests that are here, and members of the public that are here, department heads and department representatives and board of supervisors members, here to present the public hearing presentation for the 2017 proposed county budget. So this budget calendar tells us, you probably can't see in the back, but it tells you how we got here. The budget process is not one that's done in a 1 or 2 month span in August when we kind of hunker down with the department heads and kind of arrive at palatable numbers to present to the board for what a tax rate would be and what expenses would be. It really is a year-round process. The fiscal year itself starts in January, runs through the end of December. It's a calendar year, fiscal year. Early in the year, we're talking about the state budget because that comes out on a April 1 fiscal year start date. So we're talking about what impacts are there from the state budget. In April and May, we're closing the previous year's budget, doing the annual reports, and when the dust settles, kind of seeing how things were for that previous year. And then starting really in earnest in July, August, and September, culminating with where we are today through October and then into November, we're preparing the actual budget itself. So the department heads and the elected officials, we're getting together with the submissions, we're taking a look at what the numbers are, we're critiquing them, we're analyzing them, and all of a sudden we're putting together this package that ends up being the county budget. The main point on the taxes that I want to talk about for this budget presentation is the 4 cents. So that's the impact on the tax rate this year. It's going up 4 cents to $7.98 per thousand. The average single-family homeowner will have an impact somewhere around $5. That obviously increases as their assessed value increases and their taxable value increases. For round numbers, if you got a piece of property assessed at $100,000, you were paying roughly $794 in county taxes. You're going to be paying roughly $798 in county taxes in 2017. Some other numbers that I want to highlight. The tax rate is only one piece of the pie. The tax rate is multiplied against all of the values in the whole county, and in total is the whole kit and caboodle of what we actually collect for the property tax levy. So I think that's really the most important number that I want to relay. And that is going up about a little less than 1.5%. The maximum we could have gone up is about 1.75%. So we're going up within our eligible That totals about $400,000. So we're saying out of our taxpayers, and there's about 30,000 tax parcels in the county, all the way from vacant land to commercial to residential, multifamily. We're saying to those 30,000 parcels out there that we're collecting a little bit less than $400,000 for all of our operations next year. That number is $27.4 million, so that's our real estate tax levy. So from all the residential and commercial real estate in the county, that's how much we're collecting to fund all of our operations. That's just one piece of the overall pie. This number is the total county budget. Total county budget is $155,795,098. That's the county budget. That's separated by funds. It's roughly $100 million in total funds for the general fund. It's about $14 million for the highway fund. It's about $30 million, $31 million in fact, for the enterprise fund, which is the nursing home. And then we have a few smaller funds ranging from a couple $100,000 to a little under $4 million, which represent all the other funds, and those combined total $155 million. So an obvious question is, what do we do with $155 million? And it starts with delivering services, which I'm going to talk about, but it starts with people. And the public services and the human services that we deliver each and every day, 24/7 many of them, 365, are done by staff personnel. And full and part-time and per diem staff personnel, we employ 1,284 folks on our payroll as of today to help deliver those services. All the way from people that work a couple of days a year with the Board of Elections, all the way to people that work, salaried employees, hourly employees, all across the operational landscape of Livingston County. We also, with those same people, with those 1,284 folks, we deliver core services that in their entirety are not found anywhere else in the local government spectrum in New York State, and I would argue in the United States, in terms of how many services, the diversity of services, the service scope in county government in New York is really second to none across all the local governments in the state. And I've had this file before that I've shared. It's what I call the life cycle of services that the county budget provides, that the county staff then delivers each and every day. This is just a smattering of examples, but as you can see, it starts with if a child is born with a developmental delay, our budget kicks in and helps out with the early intervention program. If that delay continues, the pre-K special ed program, the transportation program, that's a county expense. We have the Youth Bureau, we have child care through DSS. Again, those are county budgeted appropriations in this document that you're going to consider today. You go to the DMV, that's a county service. Community colleges. Many high school seniors in this room, I'm guessing, have taken community college course-bearing credits at the high school. The way that structure works is the student pays a third, oftentimes the parent, the state pays a third, and the county of your residence, whether you go to FLCC, GCC, MCC, or FIT in New York City, the county of your residence pays the other third. So Livingston County's budget in that $155 million, there's about $2.3 million for community college expenses. Board of Elections, we just had 2,000 more registered voters in the 2016 election. We had to set up another district, we had to employ more inspectors, and that's another county service that's done nationwide at the county level to make sure that those elections are administered smoothly. Following down the line, you've got road patrol, so a visible presence for public safety, that's a county function. Environmental health, making sure the restaurants that you eat at are inspected and are clean. The roads and bridges that you drove on and drove over to get to this meeting, likely you encountered some that were county roads and bridges. Ambulance, the ambulance division of the county, the ambulance department, ALS and BLS services, already responded to 3,600 calls this year alone. And then you kind of go into the twilight of life as the population grays, if you will, and you've got the senior nutrition program. So we deliver tens of thousands of meals to people's homes. There's a budget allotment in this budget for that. A hospice program, palliative care, end-of-life care. We deliver that service as well in Livingston County. And the nursing home, 266 beds, $31 million operation, 99% occupied. One of about 15 to 17 nursing homes that are left in the state of New York. We continue to deliver that service. So the service matrix, and this again is just a sampling, is really broken up into mandated and non-mandated. And not to spend a lot of time on it, but mandated means just that. It means we have to deliver these certain services. And they run from, we have to have a public pension, the state makes us do that, so we have a public pension bill. That's $8 million. We have a Medicaid bill that we have to fund a certain percentage of Medicaid spending for our local residents. That bill is about $9.5 million. All the way to the sum that I mentioned before, pre-K special ed, community college, public defense. If you're without the fiscal means to have an attorney, one is provided to you through the public defender's office. And then you've got discretionary services, and I use this term kind of loosely, but really it is those services that are not technically mandated. These are programs, projects, people, services that we don't really have to provide, but this Board of Supervisors over the years and previous boards of supervisors before this one has said we choose to run these operations, we choose to have these departments because our residents demand it or we want to in the interest of quality of life, public safety, overall community. So you can see, again, this runs the gamut as well, from workforce development, economic development, the nursing home, as I mentioned, environmental health, mental health, which is a growing need in our county. We deliver mental health services at the county level. Nonprofit funding was mentioned previously on that last slide. That's something that we also choose to fund in Livingston County, and we have some increases this year for some of our partner agencies. We have the Pioneer Library System folks, and I saw some people here from the library system. Cornell Cooperative Extension receives almost $500,000 in this county budget in support for their various programs. All the way from the Council on Alcohol and Substance Abuse, Chances and Changes to Domestic Violence Program in the county. They receive support. The Historical Society, the Arts Council, and the American Red Cross. No budget is perfect. No budget is without its challenges. And some are opportunities when they present themselves as a challenge. Some are just straight up challenges that you have to kind of work through and work around. Our main one in the budget development this year was the issue of sales tax collections. We raise about $30 million in sales taxes each and every year. You could count on a 3% increase in sales taxes for probably 25 years until the recession hit a couple years ago. And then it really never fully recovered in terms of seeing those historical averages go up each and every year at 3%. So we left the budget flat versus last year, first time we've done that in quite some time. But we certainly couldn't rise that income appropriation. We certainly couldn't forecast that revenue to increase next year just because of the market. The main player in that is gas sales. About 20% of all of our collections are predicated on the sale of gasoline at the pump. And as those prices have gone down at the pump, although they started to increase a little bit, as they've gone down, we've experienced that impact. Healthcare, well, we didn't have the increases that you might have saw through the Affordable Care Act or saw at the community plans that were in the range of 15 to 25% increases. We still saw increases for our healthcare, for those 1,284 folks. Many of them have healthcare through the county. And in fact, about 1,800 covered lives are included in the county health insurance plan because of dependents and spouses and the like. So healthcare, when it's a $8 million expense for us, even if it's a 10% increase, that's still a sizable matter to accommodate in this budget. The federal government impacts, we have, I'm obviously not going to go into the election, but we have a new president. We have a president that has talked about some things that could certainly impact both positive and negative county government because they could impact positive or negative the state government. I think with things like the Affordable Care Act, what could that do to the county budget? We'd have to figure out what that would be. They talk about infrastructure spending. Is that an impact for our county highway department? Those things that we're obviously monitoring as we go into the new fiscal year. State government mandates are the biggest challenge for us year in and year out. I developed this budget based on, with the help of the department heads, based on where we think things are going to be from the state. But the state puts their budget together after we put our budget together. So we don't know what they're going to do with reimbursement levels and funding levels. So that's always an important thing to watch in the first quarter of the next year. And then we have the Intergovernmental Transfer Program. We're blessed with the fact that we have available money to provide a match to that program, but that will create a nice influx of cash dollars to the nursing home operation, which will hopefully buoy its sustainability long term with these federal dollars that are going to come to the nursing home. And then finally, I want to end on, so we have all this money that we raised. We raised $27 million in real estate taxes. We raised $30 million in sales taxes. And we have a $155 million budget that employs those people and we run these programs. So I think it's important to talk in a budget presentation how well we manage the money collectively as a governmental unit once it all comes in, once we have to spend it. The first thing I point to is the independent state comptroller's office for auditing purposes. They review and they provide everybody with a fiscal stress score at the county level. The fiscal stress score of the county is about 9.6. You can see where it compares with our peer group, where all counties are 27.6%. Finger Lakes counties are almost 24%, and medium upstate counties, which is what we fall in, are 18.3%. So we're almost less than half of where certainly the lowest out of those three are, and significantly less fiscal stress to almost non-existent fiscal stress when it comes to the levels that the comptroller looks at. So I think that's important to know. This year, for the first time, we are also the recipients of the National Government Finance Officers Association Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. And that goes into a 30-category review of the county budget, all the way from what the budget message looks like, what supplemental schedules do you include, what graphs do you include, what's your public hearing like, what's your presentation like. All of those categories we were assessed at the national level by GFOA, and we were found to have met the criteria for a Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. And then finally, the bond and credit ratings. Again, these are impartial, objective folks that review your finances and say how good you're doing or how not good you're doing, I guess. Much like your private credit score, if you have a credit score of 500, you're going to have a higher interest rate when you want to go get a car loan. If you've got a credit rating of 800, you're going to have a lower interest rate, and that means you're going to spend less money in interest expenses over the life of that loan. So here, effective January 2016 with the latest numbers, we still only have 2 counties out of the 47 in New York State that are rated higher for a credit rating, a bond rating, than Livingston County. I liken this to having roughly about 800 credit score if this was akin to the private, individual private homeowner. So this is another impartial review of our financial picture and how things look. I'll finish with just some concluding comments. First of all, the budget is balanced. It should go up without saying, but certainly over the years, the federal government and sometimes the state government have not produced what I would consider to be a balanced budget. This county budget is a balanced budget. That means expenses meet revenues, vice versa. It's also stable in terms of any fluctuations. We don't have any major program additions or deletions. It's fairly status quo, and I would say status quo for this county is okay and acceptable. It doesn't have any gimmicks and really no frills. At the end of the day, it's focused on results. It's focused on results for the residents, for our visitors, and for our staff, all the employees in that number that I mentioned earlier. So to finish here, the steps in the budget process, many of which are have already been checked off, they've already been completed. We're here on the 16th of November. We still have to approve, which is on the agenda, the workers' comp budget. In December, we take care of the salary schedule for the staff. And then after today, the board considers, after the public hearings, the formal approval and then eventual enactment of the budget. So in concluding, I want to thank the department heads for their work, many of which are in the room, and I appreciate them being here. And I also want to thank the board for their work through the committee process and arriving at this point that we're at right now. And then certainly back to that staff count. We wouldn't be able to budget like we do. We wouldn't be able to operate like we do if it wasn't for all of those 1,284 staff all pulling in the same direction for the betterment of the county residents. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. At this point in time, I would now declare the public hearings open. Anybody wishing to speak on any of the 3 public hearings, I'd ask that you come forward, sign in at the podium, and state your case. Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak on any of the 3 local law public hearings today? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Lauren Moore. I'm the Executive Director of the Pioneer Library System. I'm here to thank the Board of Supervisors for your ongoing support of libraries. Libraries are the models of shared services in New York, so your investment in libraries helps to build an educational infrastructure that makes sure that every resident of Livingston County, regardless of income, where they live, or any other conditions, has access to lifelong educational resources. Thank you so much for your support on behalf of libraries and the communities they serve. It means a lot, and please know that it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you.
I have come to say thank you as well. I serve the public at the Mount Morris Library, and you would know that in Mount Morris there is a good percentage of the student body who receive free or reduced lunch. And so the contribution you make to us is extremely meaningful. In Livingston County, the 8 librarians of the county meet once a month, and we work together. So I want you to know that all 8 of us are in agreement that we are very appreciative. And I'm thankful to have this opportunity to express that.
My name is Christine Ryan. I'm the president of the Board of Trustees of the Avon Free Library, and I'm also one of the 2 Livingston County representatives on the Pioneer Library System Board. And as with Lauren and Sharon, I'm here to say thank you for your continued support of public libraries within the county. You are, of the 4 counties in the Pioneer Library System, the one county that continues to provide direct financial support to the member libraries of PLS, and we are most grateful for that. As a trustee, I know how difficult it is to balance the competing needs that you have, and we recognize that you as county government have so many things on your plate that you have to respond to. To know that libraries matter to you is really a wonderful thing for us as we move forward. Also, with 17 towns in Livingston County, there are only 8 public libraries. We serve all those areas that do not have their own individual libraries, and the support that we receive from the county helps us to continue to provide the same kinds of services to the residents of unserved areas that we do to our own residents. So thank you so much.
Is there anyone else from the public wishing to speak on any of the 3 public hearings? Are there any board members wishing to speak on any of the 3 public hearings?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Burnett.
Thank you. I just want to thank Ian for doing one heck of a job. As always, we kind of come to expect the best, and I think we got the best. The budget is a practical budget and a very responsible one. So I appreciate his efforts and also the efforts of all the department heads that are here. Thank you.
Any other supervisors wishing to speak? I'll ask that question later on in the meeting. We'll move into our regular agenda. Communications remarks.
County Administrator Ian M. Coyle filed the proposed 2017 Livingston County budget on November 4th, 2016. Your town bonded indebtedness report is due today. Notification from the villages of the Avon, Caledonia, Dansville, Lester, Lima, Mount Morris, and Nunde requesting the county treasurer